Hi, everybody, and welcome to That CBD Show. I'm Christy Burkhead, and with me is Drew Burkhead.
Hi.
Today, we are going to spend a little bit of time talking about topical cream. Lots of different ways to get CBD into the body, and one of those is in a topical cream. So we're going to spend a little bit of time talking about the skin and just what kind of benefits we can get from using a topical cream.
Yeah, I guess when we think about it, we were thinking about like massage therapists and people that are in that profession.
Right.
Because they're obviously working with people and muscles and soreness and that sort of thing. So, and we've had a lot of calls recently, and just in the last couple of weeks, and we were going to do the last show about this. We kind of flip-flopped.
Right. Changed our mind.
We're just out of town and just coming back in. But yeah, we'll just devote that to the topical today. I actually found a website that I wanted to show you and show everybody here about. So we're going to put that up. And take a look at that, and it's kind of cool because it's interactive. It's a website from a place called Phytix that I'm just kind of learning. But the reason Phytix. The reason that we'll talk about the CBD and skin, if we're saying that right. I mean, the skin's the largest organ of the body, or one of the largest.
Right. We don't always think of it that way, right? You know, we don't think of it always as an organ, but it is. It
has its own. I mean, it has its own ecosystem, if you will. This website's called Phytix.com, Phytec's.com. And I just really like this because you can kind of scroll down and it's interactive. And as you scroll down on the screen, and you'll see it here, it will sort of highlight the area of the skin that it's focused on. For example, here's the epidermis, and it'll go into a little detail on this site about the epidermis. It'll go into hair follicles and the sebaceous glands, sweat glands, that sort of thing, and kind of break out everything that makes up the skin. Now, those of you that are in the profession sort of understand this, but those that are walking around, you know, we don't necessarily know maybe all the functioning mechanisms in here, but immune cells, all kinds of things in the skin, and this highlights it. But the neat thing about this is that it comes out down in here and it starts to talk about endocannabinoids. And so that's something
we just got back from a vacation.
That's something that we don't necessarily get in our school teaching. You know, I don't remember that in the classroom. No. You know, talking about skin, there was just the different layers and hair follicles and all those things. But now here come in this endocannabinoid discussion. Okay, so what it happens is that in our skin we have these receptors that we've talked about that these plant-based cannabinoids attach to. You know, and it works at the skin.
So yeah, well, that makes sense level. Because we say we have them in every system in our body, and that would make sense. I just never really thought about it. Okay. Just
like every organ, and just like when you take the CBD oil and it works with you on the inside, you know, on the outside in your skin area. And I was reading the study too that when the skin area is damaged. This was actually on canines and dogs, but I'm translating this because systems are the same. But when the skin area is damaged, there was an actual increase in the amount of receptors that were asking for this phytocannabinoid. Okay, and so that's what's in the topical, you know, and there's a lot more in the topical as well. And I thought maybe we'd cover that because people say, oh, well, can you get where can I get CBD? It's just not all the same, you know. And the topical that we'll use today is not all the same. It has a lot of other ingredients, and I thought it might be interesting to people to kind of break that people to kind of break that out and see what those are.
Well,
and
it helps someone compare maybe what they might have in their cabinet and see if it's the same, or at least if they're going to go look for something new. So. Yeah, cool. So this is a really neat site, and it goes into these receptors, and you can kind of scroll down and see what the effects of CBD are on the epidermis, on the immune cells in the skin,
And the interesting thing that you'll find here is you're going to see that word homeostasis. You're going to see that word of the CBD working at the skin level to bring homeostasis and all of that activity that's happening there, which is hair follicles and little immune cells and those glands that keep the skin at the right oil level, if you will. And they talk about things in here like effects on acne and other things.
That. Okay.
Yeah, and I know that you have some stories, so we can just kind of jump out of here, and I'll go into some visuals that we have here. And let's just talk about the topical. Did we give enough of a basis there to go ahead and get started on this?
I think so. Yeah, let's do that. Let's talk about
so it works. So the CBD works at the skin level too. One thing that we read about in absorption on it is that it doesn't actually enter the bloodstream. Okay, so that's not me saying it. That's what I read and see that it's not actually entering the bloodstream. So if somebody had an issue or a question about that, you can put it on your skin level and not take it, orally.
So it's not getting in the bloodstream. So when we say that it's absorbed through the skin, it's just going through the layers then of the skin and not getting all the way.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so I read, so I understand. We have no issue with it getting into the bloodstream. We take both the oral and the topical, but maybe something.
Well, I think they work even better together
synergistically. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they do. So, do you have any stories or anything you want to do about the topical? I mean, this is our topical here. Yeah. It's in the jar form. Here, there's a small and there's a large.
Right.
And then the CBD in it, and this is a picture of it up here of the large screen. But now, one thing before maybe we get started is absorption rates, because we talk about CBD and we talk about oil and absorption rates.
Okay.
And one thing that with this product is that there's a science process about it that makes that oil actually absorbable into the body.
Okay.
And they do that with the oil that you take through the mouth, and then they also do that with this CBD topical here. So they use the same bioavailable technology that Dr. Da Silva designed behind this product overall. They use the same absorption technology in the skin. So it's getting into this, the CBD itself is getting into the skin very quickly and absorbed very rapidly. So if you have something that you're looking for some relief right away from, you can get it.
You can, and it does work really fast. I know. I'm working recently with a doctor friend who has arthritis in his hands. And he had been seeking things for, he said, years to try to help him with that. And when he found the Ultracell topical, another doctor introduced it to him. Another doctor friend of ours introduced it to him. And he said within about 5 minutes, it wasn't that his hand just got better. It went away. The pain in his hand went out. He said 5 minutes. Really fast.
What all had he been trying?
Well, he up until that point, I think lots of different just supplements and things that you can buy. Doctors would say, "Oh, take this. It's a combination of all natural stuff. It's a combination of this and turmeric and this and that." And he would take these things for weeks and weeks and really just see no difference at all. And he was just spending tons of money taking tons of different types of supplements that everyone would say would be great for, arthritis or inflammation, and they didn't touch it.
And by the way, you said doctor, right? This is a
This gentleman is a PhD scientist.
Okay.
So the doctor that introduced him to it is a medical doctor.
Okay.
But so I mean, this is someone who knows science. He understands science, and so he tried it. Well, once he tried the Ultracell topical, the sort of interesting thing to me was that he travels a lot, and he started going to states where he could buy CBD in dispensaries. He actually went to dispensaries, and he thought, well, if this works and it's hemp-based, maybe something that I can get at a dispensary is stronger.
Yeah.
Right? I
Bigger,
think a lot
better,
of people,
stronger.
think that because it's medical, and at least they're thinking that it is. So, so he went to, I think, in Las Vegas to a couple dispensaries, California, a few different places, and just kept buying topical creams once he realized this worked. And he said he would use them and nothing, and his pain would come back. So he's now came back with the Ultracell, is now an ambassador for it because it's done wonders for him. And he's at a point now where he says he uses it about once every 3 or 4 days, and the effects of it last a long time. And he wasn't taking the oral drops. So now he started taking just a half a dose a day of the oral drops daily to just make sure that he said, and he's thinking that now it may be causing the effects of the cream to just last longer and longer.
Yeah.
So, that's really encouraging. We have
I think of a similar story with our other friend that was she started out with the cream and she's
her knee. Her knee.
Well, yeah, her knees. Yeah, she's a runner and she couldn't run because she had bone on bone. And then she started out with the cream first. It's just been coming up more recently, because it's a more recent addition.
Well, we haven't had it. Yeah, we haven't had it very long, but
she started out with the cream and then went to the drops, and very similar story.
Yeah, I think what's been interesting about the cream for me is that when we have the drops, the response rate on the drops is that most people will feel something over 2 to 3 months at the outset. I'd say 70-80% of the people will notice something has happened different. Some people in 2 days, some people in a month, better sleep, all these things that you get with the oral drops. But I did get a lot of feedback with drops that some people, 20-25% of the people would say, well, I can't really tell anything.
Yeah.
With the cream, it's been 100%. Anyone who has gone to try the cream for something, Lily, our daughter, is a power lifter, and she deadlifts, and she has these horrendous bruises on her shins, and there's nothing that she could do about it. It was almost like they had become permanent. They really had, because they maybe would start to get better, and then she would do the deadlift again, and she's not allowed to wear equipment really to cover those, or she couldn't feel it right. I don't know. I tried everything, but it didn't work. So we started her on the cream. Just put the cream on every morning and every night, and her bruises are gone, and they're not. I mean, they're gone. You can faintly see them, but they're not coming back. So something is happening with that. Our other friend that you were talking about running, she put the cream on, and I think it was she did it at night and went to work out the next day on a treadmill. Said she was typically in excruciating pain after about 20 minutes. That was the most she could do. She had just had a baby. She wanted to lose weight, and 20 minutes was her max. And that morning, after using the Ultracell Cream, she said she stayed on the treadmill for she's almost 2 hours. She just wouldn't stop because she felt so good. So those are the stories that we're getting back from people, that it's 100%. When they try it, it's 100%. And we even I have a friend, those of us that are middle-aged, who has started using it on her face just cosmetically.
Oh, okay.
My mother's an esthetician, and so I know that this is something she's going to start introducing into her spa. But this friend of ours has started using it, and she said after about a month, she noticed that the little brown spots and some real fine lines were starting to go away. So I'm all about that. I haven't really started doing that yet. But I'm going to just add it into my, nightly ritual. So even cosmetically, I think it has some benefits. So I don't know yet. I haven't tried it personally, but that's what she's saying. So
yeah, well, I've got some pretty chapped lips, so I put some on my lips this morning, and it's got a little bit of just a tad bit of a burn, or at least this product, but no more than like a Blistex or something else.
Oh yeah, okay.
But that's because of some of the things that are in the product, which we could actually
let's do that. Let's talk about what's in it and what each thing does.
One thing about the feeling that the cream is that usually there's something that somebody has that they're experiencing that they're putting on, so they're more apt to feel the impact, because the drops, there's a lot of times that it's doing the CBD, the phytocannabinoid is working with your body. Yeah, you just don't. You just don't know. You just don't know what might be being taken care of behind the scenes, so to speak, from a balance level, because we're just not privy to all of that. You hope everything's functioning okay,
but you don't know.
But you're not sure. But yeah, so when we think about the topical products, so I talked about that Phytix website, and then the reason I do is because these CBD receptors, it's something to understand, this ECS system. That's a part of your skin as well. That's in there. So now you can put this cream on there, but think about bioavailability when you're thinking about that from a topical standpoint as well, just as you do when you're taking looking for a CBD where you're taking the drops orally, because same concept. It's getting absorbed into your skin and into your system, and you want to get it absorbed in. Right. So we think about that. What is
an average cream absorption rate? If just any kind of cream
at a skin level,
right?
I don't know that it's any different than just an internal absorption rate of say 6%.
I think
up
that's
to
about
the highest
right.
of 10. But it's a good thing to check. I mean, you're talking about putting an oil on your skin. You're only going to get a certain amount of that.
Right.
That's absorbed, unless it has something that has been applied to it from a scientific level, and to a high degree is what the Ultracell topical is, to where you're getting in those 90% range of absorption rates.
I mean, I know just things that I spend a lot of money on just for my face, and go to those serums that are really expensive, but you do that because they're made to absorb, and even that, I know I'm not getting 90% absorption from a serum that I buy for, $100 for a little bottle, right?
Yeah.
No way. So if we're getting that with this cream, that's amazing.
Well, we put this chart up here, and the picture there is Dr. Derek De Silva, well known across the world, actually. He's a doctor's doctor. He trains doctors in nutraceutical medicine. He's been doing this for 30 plus years. Radio show in New Jersey. And all the credibility that you want, and he's behind all the formulation of this. So his picture is up there because, again, he oversaw this absorption study through the Mayo Clinic third-party study, 20 individuals where they were tested with the absorption rate. So there's independent testing behind this product to show we're not just saying that it's absorbable. Here's the actual facts of what they are. And Dr. De Silva put a lot into this topical as well. I'm not going to act like him, and I'm not going to act like I know everything about all of these ingredients. I just want to make sure, since we're focused on this episode, that we give people this understanding and basis that it's not just CBD cream that's inside this topical that's doing what it needs to be doing. There's a lot of other components in there, that are doing something. So with this stuff, it's super powerful when you start to get to that absorption rate. And so we've been telling people, and we've been instructed just to use a pea-size amount when you're applying this.
Oh, it goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are, with migraines, I know, are putting it on. I'm not saying what the results are. I just know that people are using this in a lot of unique ways. Even if there's something, that maybe you think to take a pill for, they're using this.
Trying to use it.
Yeah, they're using this for. So, seeing a lot of different stories, but just a pea-size amount. You can use it up to 3 or 4 times a day, just as needed.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's awesome. That's fantastic. So what else let's go through what's in it. What else?
Okay.
Yeah.
The main ingredients, of course, are the full-spectrum hemp that's inside the product. Yeah. That's what the keystone, the cornerstone that's doing the work. But one of the first, so there's a grouping of these 4 ingredients that come after the hemp, and then there's 20 other essential oils after it. So it's probably spend a little more time on the main ingredients list. So black pepper oil is one of the first ingredients that goes into it. And I've just been, kind of getting an understanding myself on what black pepper oil is, but it's black pepper is such a part of our diet now, but it wasn't always the case. All right. Okay. So it's sort of lost its medicinal powers or understanding, if you will, by being such a common ingredient in the marketplace. Okay. But it's absolutely it is definitely a bio enhancer that goes into these products. It's known for antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory. It's got a list of about 20 different things that it helps with. It helps with blood pressure reduction. I mean, so it says in these. Okay.
Now, is black pepper, that's the same thing that I think a lot of people mix turmeric with when they take it, right? And they say that it helps, if you take black pepper with turmeric, it helps your absorption of the turmeric a little bit.
Okay.
Not a lot, but it does help. So I think it may increase absorption of certain things.
Yeah, it's extremely powerful. It does say keep black pepper oil away from eyes and nose and other tender areas of the body. And that's one thing that Dr. De Silva will say about this product as well, is that don't necessarily get it around nose or get it around eye.
No mucus membranes.
Mucus membranes or sensitive areas. Don't. Because it's got some more things going on in it. And that black pepper is one of those things. I mean,
tempting to put it on an open cut. We had a situation on our vacation with my dad who had some dog scratches, and you have to be really careful not to get it on an open cut. I think it can burn pretty good.
And you can kind of feel it. I mean, I could even feel it when I'm
mentholy.
Yeah, but for a purpose. So black pepper's been around and being used, for thousands of years, treating, used to treat different diseases: malaria, cholera, dysentery, other digestive difficulties. Helps with circulation. It's just it's a really powerful additive. And Dr. De Silva wanted to make sure it was in there.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
then another one that he added was citronella oil.
Yeah, that's interesting. I always think of that as just a bug repellent. I didn't know it did anything else.
Yeah, so that's primarily what, when you read about it, what comes up first. But it has some very strong antifungal properties
Okay.
as well. Yeah, so that was in there, but yeah, definitely as a pesticide. If you're using it like as a bug repellent, I think you're supposed to put it on every 30 or 60 minutes. You use it more frequently. It's natural, but you can use it at that, and it's used in a lot of perfumes and cosmetics.
I wonder if it's just one of those things. It's new. I just keep trying it. So some people have a really hard time with little fungus things on their toenails. So I wonder if this would. I bet it would help that.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes down to it, is that we'll kind of break down what's in the product, but really ultimately, understand it's a safe product, and it's one to certainly think about and to try. If you're doing something, working with something in your skin.
Going on.
So another additive is this helichrysum flower oil. Can you keep me honest on my pronunciation?
I would, but I don't really know how to say it.
Okay.
I think it's helichrysum, just like chrysanthemum. That kind of. I think it's helichrysum.
Okay.
Correctly, but I don't know.
Well, it's extremely powerful, and it has many different benefits. It's going to also be an anti-inflammatory and an antioxidant. The
A word.
Yeah, antimicrobial, antifungal, antibacterial.
Wow.
Yeah, all in a natural way. So, it does things with free radicals in the skin, and there's a lot of history about this stuff that's just really interesting. This is really coming out of like your Mediterranean country areas like Italy, Spain, Turkey, Portugal, Bosnia, that area. So that Mediterranean diet.
People have beautiful skin.
Yeah. So that's where this is primarily coming out of and used. And Dr. De Silva, if I'm not mistaken, his history is in Sri Lanka. Yeah. So he brings a lot of that knowledge with him from that area and that part of the world. And then the other one that is going to be in there is ginger oil.
Okay. Oh, it's typically for the tummy.
Well, yeah, that's listed here as far as nausea.
I used to give it
goes.
to Lily when she would get an upset stomach.
It reduces inflammation as well, and this is primarily coming out of the Asian cultures, and then spreading from there. Used a lot in diet. Used a lot with meat, like when eating meats and stuff to help with digestion.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on the skin, wonder what it does. Just anti-inflammatory and. Right,
and we'll cover a little more, but the ginger, I thought you'd love this, as part of the turmeric family.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
I love turmeric.
Okay, so when you're in that, you're really talking about like the inflammation parts of things.
I guess that's why ginger is so calming to the stomach. I mean, it worked like a charm. You have a little kid that's starting to, throw up, get sick. I could give her ginger and in just little tablets that would dissolve on her, and it would calm her stomach right down.
I know how much I don't know when I start to look into this and start to look at these ingredients and what's coming out, and how much more I need to get better at working and putting into my own personal diet, and starting to balance with some of these things. There's 10 essential oil benefits with ginger, and there's people that are working with essential oils, out there in the world.
And it's really getting, popular. I have a lot of friends who are really into. They have diffusers all over their house.
And they know which way to balance that, and they know the value of this, and I'm sure they're seeing it even at a greater level of what they've seen, what all balances through here. But it's not just your CBD cream. You can't just always say, hey, what's that CBD cost, or what is it? There's differences. There's quality, just like everything else.
Sure.
And you get what you pay for in this. So
typically,
so we have the essential oils. Now there's 20 other different oils that are inside the CBD topical.
Right.
So we're not going to list them all, but they're all there now. Now, the full spectrum hemp, we've talked about that, making sure you get the entire plant, and as a basis point. And that's here as well. And just to know that inside this topical, you're getting all the full spectrum side of it.
Yeah.
We talked about the black pepper. It's got that, the black pepper has a warming effect. Okay, so that's going to give it that heat. It's got anti-inflammatory.
Feels great if you're sore.
Yeah, it's kind of like a menthol, if you will.
Yeah.
We talked about the citronella. That's also going to promote relaxation. And there's some study of using that with pets as well.
So it has some aromatherapy effects to it as well, I think.
Yep, yep. And then we see Sri Lanka and Java mentioned in here, and that's really probably coming from Dr. De Silva's history and knowledge. We talked about the helichrysum oil and then the ginger root oil. And so, I mean, ginger root was used over 4,700 years ago, you know, in documentation of that. So it's been a part of the treatment in the Asian countries for.
That's why we always get it with our sushi.
Yeah. So, and there's also different components inside these. So just know that they're just not grabbing something off the shelf. They're getting the very high qualities that has the ingredients in it. So this is a picture of the topical here. And then I was going to get to a point where we had our other list of ingredients in here, but I don't have those there. But it's about 20 other essential oils that all mix up inside of there. So a jar of that cream is really lasting, what, probably
a couple of months, depending on
2 or 3 months, you know, for somebody.
Depending on what you're doing. I mean, if you're putting it on your entire body, obviously not. But But if you're using it in sore muscles or an elbow or a hand, certainly I think people are finding it's lasting.
Yeah, so it mixes well. It absorbs easy into the skin. It's something that you can mix with other lotions or oils as far as a massage therapist in that realm, or it's just something as a daily driver just to have in your medicine cabinet, you know, and have there for aches and pains and bumps and bruises and that sort of thing, you know, to have. So it's a great product, and looking forward to learning more about it. And
all right. Well, thanks so much. That was a lot. It's amazing how much we can talk about just one topical cream. I'm going to start using it on my face.
It was worth it, breaking it down
on my
for people.
face at night. So, all right, everybody. Well, thanks for joining us today on That CBD Show, and we will see you next time.